Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion and nurture the bonds of our community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tommy, if you could start by calling roll, please.
Councilman Otten, here. Councilman Bishop, here. Councilman Herschel,
Here.
Councilman Henry,
Here.
Mayor Junkins is not here. Councilman Sassine,
Here.
Recorder Sassine,
Here.
Councilman Snyder,
Here.
Councilman Wiseman.
Here.
Thank you.
Everyone should have received the August 16th, 2021 minutes in their council packets. If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the August 16th, 2021 minutes to be filed.
Motion made.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Under my recorder's report this evening, the only thing I have is the next council meeting will be held on Monday, September 20th, 2021 at 8 p.m. here at the village office. Jamie is not attending tonight, so we're going to skip over her report. And I'm going to jump right into the mayor's reports. On behalf of Dawn, he prepared me with some material before the meeting. The surplus police cruisers that are being acquired from Ohio County Commission to the village of Bethlehem are in the process. This involves transfer of paperwork, inspection of each vehicle to determine what repairs, if needed, will be required. We are working one unit at a time. Also, the village street crew is involved in this process and aiding with any maintenance. The week of August 15th, the village records were being audited by BHM CPA Group Incorporated. This is the same company that has reviewed our records in the past. Last week, we received their analysis, and Jamie and the mayor have been reading through them. After digesting their summary, the mayor will report at the same in a future meeting. The State of West Virginia paving contractor, NLS, completed the asphalt paving of the 29th Street project that followed through the traffic light in town, including the 4 outlets and also down Spruce Street to approach the Spruce Street Bridge. The village financial report covering our fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021 is scheduled for publication on Friday, September 10, 2021 in the Wheeling News Register. The mayor has been telephoning potential contractors to conduct road sealing for the village this fall. Most results, he has had to leave messages and he is waiting for a return call. Also, he has been following up on messages that he has been receiving back, and he has also gotten word from a couple companies that he has reached out to that they no longer do this form of work. Police Sergeant Rusty Jewell's brother, Robert Jewell Sr., passed away on August 26, 2021. On August 30th, the office received telephone calls regarding brown water in the village's water line from residents on Walnut Avenue and Elk Avenue. After some investigation, it seems on 29th Street, between the healthcare building and the Wheeling Auto Body Shop, the state of West Virginia had a crew with heavy equipment removing old railroad spurs and siding. The drilling rig used by the state in the removal of this process was pounding profusely on the ground. The problem, which was not taken into consideration, was there is a large City of Wheeling water line near this area, but this water line is the main feed to feed the pump house that pumps water up Bowman's Addition, Walnut Avenue to Highland Lane. This pounding caused vibration inside wheeling steel pipe to release material into the water system that feeds Bethlehem water supply, which made the water retain the brown substance. Ben Gilbert contacted the Wheeling Water Department to inform them of this issue. On September 3rd, we had a small water break on Woodcrest Drive. The electric service in that area has a primary feed that goes down Green Tree Road. However, a secondary feed turns left onto Woodcrest. We contacted Miss Utility to scope out the utility lines. Their direction was not accurate, and our hoe hit/grazed the electric line, which was on top of the village's water line. We are now back to square one because the electric is in the same trench as the Green Tree Road problem before our recent construction. With the help of AEP, we were able to correct our leak with a clamp on our pipe. That's all I have under the mayor's report. TC, is there anything you would like to speak about?
No, I have nothing to report. I'll have a second reading of the revision to the dog ordinance under new business. And we're approaching the completion of the time period for the processing of the water and sewer. And I'll be filing additional papers next week.
Sounds good. Under the police chief's report, the August 2021 report was sent out in the council packets. Everyone should have received that. We'll jump into committee reports next. Is there anything under the police committee?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, Don called me today and just said he's running a little bit behind, and as soon as he gets his ducks in a row, we'll get together with him on that.
Yeah, there's some things we gotta discuss. It just, we have the committee, but nothing's getting done.
Anything under zoning, Mark?
Nothing this evening.
Roads and streets?
Just one thing, been communicating with the mayor on and off over the past couple of weeks. And the contractor for the paving projects up here in Bethlehem, the three of them, is running behind. And the mayor and the guy in charge feels that they can get it done within September. So the mayor's been communicating with them every week, so he'll be back talking to them this week, trying to pinpoint the week they're gonna do it. That's all we have.
What's the latest they'll do paving? When do they shut down the plants to make asphalt?
November?
Is that late? November?
Usually first frost around.
The weather.
Okay.
We've paved, years ago, Village Drive in the first week of December. The weather was good,
All right.
so I think we'll be fine.
I talked to Steve about this before too, and we've been doing it for a long time this way, and it's a good way to do it at that time of the year. It makes me nervous every year that we go till September or October. I mean, and I know that's the best time probably for us to do it. I'd like to inch it up a little bit, more sooner than later in the summer, you know, but, I mean, they pave all summer long, and they don't seem to have no problem, but I know I know it's temperature and stuff, it does make it nice, but it does put us in that edge where.
Well, and I think what we can do is just, keep cars off the street overnight. You know what I mean? Hey, you're not allowed to park on the street for a week after the paving, you know what I mean? Either with some cones or something, just to keep them off the street, if we're worried about that time frame.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems like it does it and it ain't their fault, but what Mother Nature just gets involved in it. It pushes their schedule, keeps pushing it out. And, we've been pretty lucky though. I think it only one time in the last few years it kind of got so much in, but
We can
just something to think about.
Right, we communicate with the people like Sugar Lane and them guys this year, or every year, that paving's starting, keep the cars off, and maybe we can mention that to them again. Follow up on that.
It's to their advantage to actually do that, you know, I mean, they park in front of their house and mess brand new asphalt up. That's just something to think about. I'll talk about it next time.
Tim, do you have anything under water and sewer this evening?
Yeah, Michelle Haller reached out to me again. She said the water problem's getting worse on Birch. Ben, have we gotten anywhere with that?
The best we're going to probably do at the time before we get into the spring again is to drop in a catch basin right there, where the bulk of the problem sits by a driveway right across the street from our house. And we're going to connect that to an existing trench and culvert system that we have going over the hill there.
Are we gonna be able to get that done before it starts freezing up? Cause I know with all that water on the road, it'll be.
Yeah, it is literally, I know everybody hates this term, but it is actually on our list. so.
Right. Her other concern was that, Briding's property is getting bad again. Who did that last time? Did we do that, or?
We've been doing it.
We've been doing it? If we can add it to the list, she wanted to be sure. She said it's getting really bad again. My only other, thing on water and sewer was, did we receive bids for the, nice Mark. Did we receive bids for the, section of water line that we're gonna pay for the fire department?
So yeah, we did. We'll take that up under new business.
Okay, great, awesome, thank you.
Tim, can you remind me, what's Michelle's address on Birch? Do you know off the top of your
I
head?
don't,
Is that anyone?
I can look it up.
29.
29, okay.
Build her mailbox, the only reason I know. And then the numbers fell off.
Just color me in, draw some hair on.
No hair.
Aaron, recreation this evening?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. On August 30th, Aaron and I met with Shannon Kaczynski with the Ohio Valley Express baseball. They came to us and they were wanting to know about leasing community field. Obviously, Aaron and I think that's a great idea to get that field. It's not used very often. Their focus is one, to have a place to practice, so they want to make sure they get a couple nights a week and stuff like that. Really what they came to us is they know the field needs some work, some leveling and new stuff added and whatnot. Basically they came to us saying, we'll do that work in lieu of cash. He's writing up a proposal now. He'll be available for the September 20th meeting to present that, or if there's any questions like that. But basically that's just a heads up of what's coming. If we can get the work done to that field, basically, and they can use it, it's gonna be a great opportunity for us to get that work done, and we won't really have to put that work into it.
What was his name, Aaron?
Shannon Kaczynski?
You said Shannon?
Yes.
And you're talking about this field right here.
This field right here.
Do you have the spelling of his last name in front of you?
Yeah. Kuchinski.
Okay, you said that was Ohio Valley Express.
Yes.
And where's that team out of? Just all over the valley, or?
They,
They're local.
they're
just
local.
It's one of those travel teams.
Yeah.
travel team.
Have we ever leased that before?
No.
Is there liability and stuff
We
involved?
spoke about this under the Daniel administration. I think we did allow one, but they had to show proof of their insurance.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, liability.
All travel teams must be fully insured to cover anything that could possibly happen.
All we need is proof of it.
Right.
I mean, that's, I don't know, I don't wanna say it's all we need. You might wanna
Yeah.
ask Kim
They
over
get
there.
proof of insurance from their insurance company, file it with us,
Absolutely. There are other conditions that we're gonna require that they meet also.
and
but
name
that's
us
what
as
we'll work out with.
insured.
Now, is that gonna affect the rental of the shelter in any way?
No, I haven't rented the field with the shelter in years.
Oh, I thought it just came with it.
Nah, that nobody uses it.
No, correct, they don't.
Yeah, so mostly, if there's a ball game on it, they enjoy sitting watching the kids play down there, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, so, like I said, he's coming up with, what they're proposing to do. We'll have another meeting with him, I'm sure, and then, like I said, by the next meeting, we'll have more answers of exactly what they're proposing to do, and everything like that. Bop Field, do you know if Dawn found out about what's gonna happen to Bop Field when the fire department's done with it?
I
Not
don't
sure.
have- I don't have
Okay,
any
that
information
can
on
come up next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, the only other thing I have is, we got a bid from Herb Electric. We're looking to add 4 fans up to the shelter up there. They gave us a bid. I have a picture of what the fans will look like if anyone wants to see them. For 4 of them, they're 56-inch fans, installed, labor, all that. We're looking at $3,740. That's gonna give it gets hot up there in the summer.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It should have been in years ago.
It should have been. So that's the bid. I'd like to get that going as soon as possible. That way we
What
can
was-
have it for
You said it was 3,000?
3,740.
6 of them?
4 of them.
Did you look to get a second bid?
Is this the only bid that came in? This is the only bid that came in.
Have you reached out to anyone else?
I did last year and did not get any response. I reached out about the posts up here.
That's what.
Herb has also been the one that's been awarded all of the recent business in the park anyway.
Yeah, because Herb is, like she said, Herb is the one that did the light poles, because we did try to get other bids for those and no one was really interested. I don't think anyone turned any in, right?
No.
Herb was the only one to turn them in. So Herb's been pretty good to us, I feel. So I'd like to get that going, get those fans installed and everything like
The
that.
only concern I have, and I can't picture that shelter, is it pretty low ceiling? Like if a kid stands up,
No.
Not at
No,
all,
no,
not
no,
even
no,
close.
so they can't come to
No,
get
no.
to the fan blade.
But you don't want
No.
too much of an extension on those.
Exactly.
fans.
No.
Okay. I didn't know if you could stand on top of a picnic table and get up into the fan
No.
blades.
Not a kid couldn't.
Alright.
And they won't, I mean, obviously, they're not gonna put a 6-foot extension on it either. I mean, it's a pretty high ceiling.
Okay.
That's all I have this evening.
Does the council want to discuss anything about that, or is that something we want to take up under new business?
I think we would take that up under new, right? The fans?
Fans.
Yeah.
Aaron, question. Last meeting, you brought up the fact about taking out the chips and putting in grass at some of the parks.
Yeah, we're looking up, if any of you have suggestions of what to put down, we're looking into a couple different things, trying to find something. Cause all that's there right now is grass. I mean, we don't have any wood chips, nothing down right now. That's why we were suggesting going with grass, because I think this part, there's some paper down, but Bay Tree Park is nothing but grass anyway.
Right.
So, either way, we're wanting to get rid of all those telephone poles. I think Bay Tree is the only one with them left. Old telephones going around the perimeter of the park, looking to get some new type of parameter. I did want to bring up, even if we go with rubber mulch or something like that, it's still going to require maintenance. Rubber mulch isn't going to get rid of weeds completely. So even if we go with that over wood chips or something like that, it's still going to require that maintenance. We're going to have to kill weeds and stuff like that. Rubber mulch isn't going to be an end-all solution. But we're looking into that. I'm going to get some prices on stuff like that. But it definitely needs done. I mean, because there's nothing down right now.
Here's a suggestion. I got involved with that park that they built for the kids in Wheeling down there by the amphitheater. And they use some kind of a material that's like, lack of a better word, foam, spongy, and it's impervious to weeds. It's expensive. And that's what I was,
It's not, that's not going to be enough.
says we just can't afford it.
When did they put down like a vegetation barrier?
Yeah, they
Like
put a
that
weed
black,
barrier.
that felt almost.
That's down up here
We
now.
did that down up here. I mean, it works for a while.
Right.
It works for a good year or two, but after that,
The
you're
dirt
either gonna
comes
tear
out
it
top.
up.
and
Yeah,
then-
you either gotta tear it up and redo it every couple years, or
Right.
Yeah.
it's tough.
So that's the thing, that's why we recommended the grass, is because if we go with wood chips or mulch, whatever we wanna go, not mulch, but rubber mulch, we're gonna have to invest into redoing it every couple of years. So because we can't keep doing what we're doing. I think Bay Tree Park's been done like 3 or I don't know how many times, but it's been wood chips, grass, re-wood chips, grass. We just need to find a solution, and then we need to stay on top of the maintenance, is what it is.
Well, don't we have, what do we have, Bay Tree already cut for us? And we have the Bob cut for us.
And this part.
If they would cut it and kind of blow it off under there, that'd be a way to take care of 2 of them.
Well, that's what I brought
I mean,
up.
leaving it grass.
Leaving the grass and cutting it
Yeah.
and kind of,
That was the original proposal at
Right.
the last meeting, when he
But I
reached
think
out.
Tom said something about, aren't we required to put some kind of a barrier down that's like injury proof so kids can't fall? And would that qualify, having grass and dirt and rocks and?
I do not believe grass qualifies. I looked up the guidelines. They want 6 to 9 inches of
Something,
something.
not
Yes.
grass or dirt.
Yeah. Are you, oh, you're new.
I am,
Are you aware that like the park fund is what runs the park stuff?
yes.
You know, I mean, that's why it's so hard to get things done. There's a limited amount of money. We do the fundraisers and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the money's gone. So we have to be very choosy about what we spend
Sure.
out of that park fund. And like right now, I'm still holding on to the matching funds for the grant.
Right,
We're
so
in the process.
we have money in the account. If you look at the financial records, we have money, but so much of it, how many thousand is
There's
set
only
aside?
4 in there now, but I have that, cause I have
Right.
one grant in process and another one, hopefully, in December I'll hear if we get the second grant
Right,
for the park.
So
And
we-
that's matching funds of $10,000 apiece.
right. We have money in there, but a certain amount of it, we gotta keep in mind, we can't touch it because we've gotta match those grants.
Sure.
Right.
So, yeah,
I mean, I can speak to the rubber mulch because I use it at my house. If you put in like a really nice weed barrier down, which could be expensive, you know, the good stuff, and then thick enough rubber mulch, and it's not cheap either, truthfully.
right.
That's probably your best bet if we can't use grass.
I have Mike Schnagel, who is our grass cutter,
Mm-hmm.
working up a proposal right now on the rubber stuff to see, just for Bay Tree, because that's the smallest area, like in our,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, it's tested over here and see
Yeah,
what
right.
it comes up with.
that's bad.
So he hasn't got back to me yet, but that's in the process of seeing what kind of cost, with him doing it, you know, him tearing it up and doing that's supposed to be done, killing whatever's underneath first,
Right.
because that's a big, big thing.
Right.
It's killing the existing stuff
Sure.
and putting the barrier down. But like Aaron said, getting rid of the telephone poles is essential also. There are spikes coming out of those things.
Yeah.
It's just
We need
rotting
this
wood.
gone now.
Right.
Rotting wood.
It's
Didn't
a
you
liability.
say the grass is not allowed? Under the federal guidelines?
No, they recommend,
Your hands are tied.
right, it's like 6 to 9 inches of other
Yeah.
substances.
So there's no sense in putting grass down.
Right, but right now, what we have is grass. So if we do nothing, we have grass
Right.
for now. So,
Well, I guess the best thing to do is just wait till we hear back from Schnagel's and take the best economical approach.
right, get some costs on it and see what we can do.
So I should have that for you guys next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you wanna tell that gentleman, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but Shannon, I would tip him off about the insurance. Just make sure he has that ready
Yeah,
to go.
no, absolutely. Like I said, I'll have more information and everything that they're wanting to do for the next meeting. This was just a, hey, we're talking about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Did you buy that stuff by the ton? Or by the
I actually did. I bought a ton, literally 1 ton box, and they delivered it on a truck, and then I shoveled it in.
locally?
No, it was, I forget, honest to God, it was 20-some years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it lasted a good, no matter what you guys put in there, no matter what, dirt eventually gets in on top of whatever it is you put in, then the weeds grow out of that dirt. So you gotta have maintenance to whatever it is we do, but rubber mulch might be the only thing we can afford if we can't keep grass in there.
Right. May I add one more thing?
Sure.
About Bop Field, when it's established what's gonna happen with the fire department property and they're part of it, I don't know how that all is set up, whether it's a receivership or if they actually own that property in order to sell it. But whatever happens, the slide and that other climbing jungle thing there, when Aaron and I inspected that, it is atrocious, it's awful. I am not comfortable leaving that stand any longer than we absolutely have to. If nothing else, that stuff needs to be pulled. He walked over and pulled on the steps, and they just tore. The metal just went, you know, it's just,
Dangerous.
rip them out, leave it empty. Yeah, and,
It is dangerous, get it out.
it is, it's absolutely.
We need to get it out of there.
Yeah, get it out, and then we'll worry about putting stuff in later.
We all survived it, you know.
Well, right,
Years
but-
with the hot slides and all that stuff, but, you know, the time's come. But I would like to have permission to tear that out this fall, just, you know, work on putting something back after the fact.
Right.
When we determine we can and what we can. But for now, I
Any
really
information for that?
feel that that should come out.
No.
We can all go take a
Just
look
cover
at
it.
it.
Yeah, you don't need a motion for that, you can just do it.
Safety, it's a safety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
safety
it.
But once we
first.
start
Yeah.
doing something like that, you're gonna get the phone calls. What are they
Right,
doing
yeah,
over
you
there?
don't-
Well,
we
at
can
least
take
rope
the
it
phone
off
call.
or something until you can tear it out.
Yeah, it just,
You know,
Yeah.
You can't afford to have somebody, a little kid get hurt, you know?
that's what I'm.
Then you're gonna need that guy right there.
I'd say it's pretty unanimous amongst council, so Aaron, would you maybe, probably be wise to sit down, talk with the mayor in the next week and just get it on Ben's list, get it torn out?
We can have it done
Yeah.
in like an afternoon.
Right.
All it takes is the backhoe.
Right.
and
Yeah.
a-
It's
and
on
a
your
brush
list.
pile, so,
Do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, I agree.
so, I can have it out this week if that's what we want.
Thank you.
I just want everybody to be aware, in case we get phone calls, the intent is to fix things, but you have to tear it up first, and right now, that's the best, in my judgment.
Agreed.
Yep, agreed.
Is there any old business anyone needs to take up this evening? If not, we can jump into new business. TC, do you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
knock out that ordinance first?
I'll go first, yeah. You have for second reading tonight and for final adoption, an ordinance amending chapter 90 entitled, quote, Dogs and Cats, end quote, of Title 9 entitled General Regulations of the Bethlehem Code of 1976 as amended, and establishing and adopting new sections of chapter 90 entitled Dogs and Cats of Title 9 entitled General Regulations of the Bethlehem Code of 1976 as amended. You'll recall we went over this at the last meeting. This was requested by Councilman Bishop, and we reviewed it. He reviewed it, I reviewed it, we reviewed it last meeting, so we just need a motion, second, and a vote.
I move to approve on second reading.
Second.
On the motion is titled, or on
Good.
the ordinance is titled.
Aaron, second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Thank you, guys. Stacy's dad thanks you.
Much needed.
Aaron, since you're here, I'll kind of let you take the reins on this, but Dawn did send me some paperwork in regards to the proposed recycling project. Is that something you want to talk about, or would you like me to discuss it?
You wanna start? I didn't know you was gonna address it, so,
Okay, I'll read the information and you can fill in any gaps.
okay.
So the proposal would be for a recycling proposal would be, Yawkins would bring an 8-yard dumpster up one Saturday a month to start the project, and it would be for cardboard only. We as the village would man it, and it'd be our responsibility to look after it more or less to make sure people weren't dumping, trash in there or whatever isn't supposed to be in it. We would put it in view of the building and hope to have a camera on it to ensure that correct dumping was taking place. I know it says down here that Erin said she would volunteer her time to help look after the dumpster. Users of the dumpster must have a Bethlehem address on their driver's license ID to be able to use the dumpster. If necessary, we could confirm their residency using the utility system by a list of street names. The cost of this dumpster would be $150, and it's just basically up for discussion, council.
So we pay $150 for the dumpster, and then we have to pay somebody to sit by the dumpster to help load or unload. And then, I know Erin said she's gonna volunteer, but there's gonna be a Saturday that comes up where Erin wants to do something with her family. Do we have to have somebody in the office to work the system to check addresses if we're using the utility system?
My thought is on this, 'cause I wrote this, so my thought is, one Saturday a month, that's all it is, and everybody wants to recycle, everybody wants a piece of this recycling, save the planet, make things greener, I'm all for it. People need to step up, if you want to participate in this, what is 4 hours on a Saturday? Come volunteer your time. For volunteers, I will start by volunteering, I will be here, I will set up the book saying, here's your list of addresses. Somebody comes with their stuff, before you dump, show them your driver's license.
And they can only dump cardboard.
We're only taking cardboard, clean cardboard. Whoever's gonna volunteer, I will
Who
go over-
inspects the?
whoever's working the site that day. You can have 1 people, 2 people, you can have a small fundraiser, you want, let's see, the local Lions Club say or something, the Boy Scouts come down and sell hot chocolate in the winter on that Saturday while you're dumping. You can make it a community event. People want it, they need to stand up and wanna participate and wanna help.
If somebody comes and they've got cardboard, you look it over,
Yes.
and they say, and you say, no, this isn't good, and they say, screw you, and throw it in there anyway, what happens?
They're not gonna get, we're gonna, no, that won't happen. I don't foresee that happening. That's why if we do it, it's an 8-yard dumpster, it's a little bit bigger than one I have up here at the shelter. And if we would put it one day, we're only talking one day, you bring it in on a Saturday and haul it out Saturday, hopefully. Put it right here in front of the building, police officer presence, cameras on it, 24/7. So, you know, you wanna do something like that, I got you on film, I'll be knocking on your door. Cause first you have to show me your ID before you even get close to our dumpster.
So it's something council wants to
It's
think about
something
since it's a new topic.
Putting out there, if anybody wants to participate, you know, talk about it, whatever, what do you think?
Aaron, I commend you for that, but I think you're gonna have trouble getting volunteers to do it, to be honest, and I'd rather see plastic before cardboard, because to me, plastic's more offensive.
Well,
To the-
Welcome takes the cardboard, that's why they do have,
They won't take plastic though, or glass?
I do not believe they do, they take cans and cardboard. They collect cardboard down at their site down on Ellen Street, is that the name of it
Yeah,
down there?
that's true.
They do already take cardboard down there, so this is just another drop off point.
Yeah.
Do we get the money from the recycling? Or so we're paying him
Yeah.
for the dumpster
We
and he
pay them
gets the money for the
dumpster.
recycling?
Once again, if people want to do this, put out a tip jar, costs you $1. Get 150 people to throw their cardboard in
Right.
once a month, the dumpster's paid for. You know, to me, it's wide open, depending on how much participation we wanna see that we can get. Once again, we had community service kids through the police program at one point.
So is
we're
$150
still thinking-
per month?
Yeah.
For-
One
yeah.
day a month.
One Saturday.
That's it.
But yeah,
That's a little steep. And we don't get any money out of it.
You gotta hope they put it in the tip jar.
You know, I'm all for recycling.
Me too, but
And repurposing things in life. I recycle.
yeah.
Is there a possibility, just to put this out, that maybe you could reach out to maybe with some of the businesses and be interested in,
Quite possibly.
you know, donating, you know, so if they don't want to donate time, they can always donate, you know,
Right.
$150 in the amount of businesses we got here. If they just give $10,
Right.
that would cover that.
Time is the most precious gift I can give to
Right,
anybody.
if you have enough
Time.
people asking you, you know, to recycle this in the village,
I haven't, but I recycle. I've been trying to go to the Ohio County Recycling Center for 2 months now, and they're closed down because they don't have anybody to work it. You know, it's not working for them either. But I thought maybe Bethlehem could pull together cardboard only, 1 month. Try it for 1 month maybe, see what kind of,
What stops people from driving to Ellen Street tomorrow and taking their cardboard down if they wanna recycle it?
nothing.
Okay.
You can do that. I'm headed down this week, but fine. My cardboard.
so it's just the convenience of having it here
It's the
versus.
convenience, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
sure we'll get enough people willing to do it,
Yes.
truthfully.
you know, I'm all for it. If enough people's
I
gonna
do.
do it and we can get somebody to participate as, you know, donate some money towards it, you know what I mean, in time.
Anything like that, anything like that.
I just look if somebody comes from Elm Grove, they don't have a Bethlehem address,
Well,
they
not
got
only
a
that, it's-
truckload of cardboard and they can't dump it, they're not gonna be very happy.
You don't live
If
here,
you're gonna
you
get your
don't pay
car and
taxes
take it
here,
somewhere in
you
the
pay
first
for
place,
that.
why not just drive it down there?
Right, so we're gonna, that's my thing,
It's
and
the
it's not the cost,
convenience.
it's not the
Right.
cost, $150 a month isn't that much.
Right.
But why would we spend the money so that a resident from Ridgecrest can drive to here and 2 miles from here, they can go to Yockham's and drop it off and it doesn't cost us a penny?
It doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah.
Is he open on
Well-
Saturdays down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, I passed on Saturday, there's people there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the cardboard's all wired up in different containers right
Yeah.
on the left-hand side of it.
I often wonder where to throw it. I drive by and look, and they don't have a specific,
Right?
I think they're
The
broadcasting.
machines in the back of the building where they
Bound
crunch
it up.
it.
They
Yeah.
nail it up, yeah,
Yeah.
wired up.
I'm always afraid of dumps there because, put my cardboard there because I don't know if you're allowed. They're not
Advertising.
advertising it at all. No sign.
Let's think about it, we'll talk about
I
it at the
agree.
next meeting.
I'd like to
Yeah,
table
I'm
this
not
and have
in
some
favor
time
of
to
it.
think about it.
Absolutely, absolutely, just a thought.
I agree with the recycling, man. I just, you know,
Here's
the earth is
something.
just polluted.
Okay, Ben.
There is that businesses, especially those in Bethlehem, might just want the good public relations to have their name put on something, like they sponsored something for a month, and you could get somebody to sponsor your whole $150. I bet you dimes to donuts that you can get somebody to fully fund a month of this recycling project just to have their name associated with it. You
There's
could
enough
probably
businesses
do
out there.
one campaign and buy out your year.
Yeah.
Like Tim
We
said,
don't do that.
it's not a matter of the money, and I agree with you, Ben. I think people will be happy to donate the money if we put a sign that says, this month sponsored by blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I just don't think there's gonna be enough interest, people that can just go a couple miles farther. Now, if it was plastic or glass or stuff that's harder, I'd say we'd probably have a better chance of getting people to use it.
The only
But
thing with that,
cardboard-
man, you have one milk carton that's still got a little bit of milk in it, goes in the bin, the whole bin's ruined. They won't take the whole bin
Because of that.
because of that little
Yeah,
tiny
you know
bit of
people
milk
aren't
that's-
gonna wash
Right.
it up.
Right, it's so strict on those,
Yeah.
specifications for,
Requirements, yeah.
for recycling and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what ruined when we had it at Village.
Yeah, down over the
Yeah.
ball field.
That and
Right.
TVs and chairs and
People
hot
leave
water
us-
tanks and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
it. You can't control the general
Yeah.
population, and they don't care. So
It's a
they're
good
just
thought,
gonna-
Aaron, we'll give it due consideration.
Yeah, I commend you, but.
Next thing I have to bring up under new business is, Ben, you can help me fill in on this too, but there's a request to purchase a utility vehicle for the street department. Ben has done some homework with the West Virginia State Agency for Surplus Property. The vehicle is a white Jeep Grand Cherokee 2013, 140,000 miles in good condition, and the asking price is $7,200. To my knowledge, it's been inspected, the vehicle, and it appears to be in fair condition. Ben, if you kind of want to explain what your, more or less the purpose of the vehicle.
Well, the purpose is to get people around. Right now, we've got 7 guys and 3 vehicles, which take about 2 apiece. Now, you can probably squeeze people, but we've got a lot of gear in the middle compartments, so apart from maybe brush pile, I don't know if I could squeeze anybody in the middle section of those trucks. Now, we did a lot of research and legwork into local dealerships to see if there were used trucks. Everybody thinks that we immediately need a truck, and the more we thought about it back there, the more that just seemed space-wise impractical based on what we have. And I can fit more people at one time in an SUV style vehicle than I can in a truck, unless it's a crew cab, which now makes that truck bigger. And I don't really need the utility bed because I don't carry that much stuff that we use on a daily basis. What I need is a mobile water break station, which that fits the bill for. So I've got all kinds of reasons why this would benefit us, but I would like to hear what you guys would like to think. I personally inspected this particular vehicle that's being discussed and got underneath it and got inside of it, drove it forward and backwards, and it is inspected through an
If it's
X-ray.
a water break vehicle, you're gonna need the dump trucks to dump the mud and stuff. One guy's driving the backhoe. So you'll
No,
use
that's
your
not-
2 dump trucks, plus then you have the pumps, the shovels, all the other equipment that you have to carry. That's not all gonna fit in the back of an SUV.
You're right. It's not, I misspoke by saying it's a water break vehicle. What I meant was I can take that water break box that I have permanently stored in the back of that. And so now I don't have to manage that whenever we do have fast action type things happening. This is more just practicality of moving people. I don't have enough vehicles at the time to move everybody on this team. I've been using my personal vehicle to get from place to place.
Well, that's nonsense. Don't do that. The village is only 8 miles of roads. Just make a second trip. You're only talking about another 2 minutes. Don't use your personal vehicle.
Well, I'm just telling you what's been happening. I am trying to do the best thing that I can do to space everybody out so more things are getting done despite what might be believed at the time. We are trying to get more things happening at once, and the way that we can do that is making sure that everybody can get to where they're supposed to be. We're gonna lose a vehicle in the beginning of October to get it repaired for a full week. It's going down to Robinson Collision Center. Now I've got 2 vehicles and 7 guys.
Well, those 3 police cars we got, do they have to be used for the police department, or were they given to the village?
Don't we have an SUV too?
Yeah.
Coming?
I think when they give them to you for the village, I don't know they have to be for one specific division.
I think we could look into that for sure.
Right.
Because
That's a great point.
I think we brought that up a little while ago when there were talks about it. Maybe,
Well,
I mean like backroom talk, something like that. But yeah, if we're getting a Tahoe, I think we should look into that.
That's a great point.
I would think you're right.
This particular vehicle will not be available after tomorrow. They're holding it for us for a
I
few
don't think we're in a
business days.
position to approve it tonight.
Well, that's fine. You guys are the ones that make the decisions. I'm just telling you what we're dealing with.
And do you think you'd be better served to get a more of a utility type vehicle, not commercial, like residential type transport? I mean, that's just a regular Jeep Cherokee, right? Or it's
Yeah,
nothing,
It's
doesn't
a
have any.
4x4 and it'll
Yeah.
haul a trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was built for state road use.
And you don't think it's gonna be available after tomorrow?
I guarantee it's not. And
Oh.
they're holding it for our benefit
Who's the
and
seller?
only through tomorrow.
Who's the
Who's
seller?
selling it?
The state.
Oh.
They've already sold most of them that have been down there.
Yeah, I don't think we're in a position to approve that kind of expenditure right tonight, and before you get it tomorrow or the next day or whatever. And then we have, what would the insurance be on another vehicle? And
Nominal. Because we insure
It's
something.
an
no,
umbrella.
so it would be
Yeah,
nil.
and
almost.
not adding it to the fleet would be a nominal expense.
Just
Yeah.
an umbrella policy, essentially.
No, okay.
I know you don't got the room in a truck. I know everyone says truck, but you better utilize a truck a lot better if you had a vehicle broke down or you was in a situation where you needed it.
Yeah, it's more
Something,
versatile.
Snow plow and
Yeah.
a spreader.
Yeah.
They'd be more equipped to be able to do that if you're gonna add another vehicle.
One with a utility box on the back too would probably help too,
But that would be a good one, yeah.
you know, with carrying the tools and stuff. That way you don't have to unload them all the time. It's got locks on it, but
Well, we
then
can
you're
get one of
back to
those.
putting it, trying to put every vehicle away at night too.
Yeah, well, the size was certainly a consideration. I could fit an SUV back there right now without having to put something outside. A full-size truck now, let's assume we're going with the same seating possibilities. Not that you have to, but let's just say you are. That's a double cab and a 6 to 8 foot bed with a utility box. It's just, I don't have the space for it without putting the dump outside, the backhoe outside, and I don't have any place for them to be, but in with the salt.
Well, that's something to look into about that Tahoe, but we also gotta ask the police department what their idea is with it too, is that they're gonna be their winter vehicle, you know, so we gotta, it's something to debate,
Right.
something to talk
We've been
about.
157 winters up here without a utility vehicle. What's
Yeah.
And that's what the city of Wheeling does, they pass a vehicle on. It might have
Right.
been a frontline cruiser, then it goes to the water department.
Right.
Then it goes to another department,
Right.
recreation, but that's what they
Right.
do with their,
Yeah,
They're
they
hand-me-down
use them up,
cars.
when they're done with them, they're pretty much
Pretty much
replaced.
worn out.
Yeah.
I mean, is that okay, Ben, if you guys give an old police cruiser, you could use it to transport people around?
Hey, whatever you guys think is best. That's not my decision to make. I just brought you guys information.
And that wouldn't cost us anything.
Just whatever it takes to get it up and running properly.
Yeah.
Well, let's look in to see what the rules are outlined with us receiving the vehicles, and then, because I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I know we've been up here without a four-wheel drive vehicle in the police, department for years, but I'm sure if you asked a lot of them, it could probably be needed pretty frequently. So,
The Chargers we have are all-wheel drive.
Usually when it's bad like that out, we usually have, road crew out anyway.
Usually the police follow them around to the roads.
Police ambulance.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, it's been that way in the past.
next thing I have to bring up under new business is we've been working with the Bethlehem Baseball Association regarding fall baseball tournaments that are being held at the 3 baseball fields, Ball Village Drive and Community Park Ball Field. Last weekend was the first round of these events, and to my knowledge there was a parking issue, and I know that there were residents and businesses complained about people parking in their parking lots, and there were people even parking in some yards, private yards over around Bops. And I know Erin worked with the mayor on sending she sent this email to the Bethlehem Baseball Association coaches, and I have that in front of me, so I'm going to read that just so everyone is informed. Again, this was sent to the coaches, and then this was spread amongst the families on the team. It says, the Village of Bethlehem has informed me that there have been a number of complaints from the surrounding businesses and homeowners at Bott Field from this Sunday. Moving forward, please send a message to all parents that they can use the elementary school parking lot and the State Farm lot. There is a funeral going on at the funeral home. It is off limits. No one can block the door to the fire department with canopies or chairs. Posh Hair Salon is open for business during these hours and have clearly marked signs to say it is a private lot for their customers only. The last thing anyone wants to do is have a family car towed from a baseball game, but if people don't begin to park legally, actions might have to be taken. Also, the property behind home plate at Bops Field is private property and is not used for staging teams for warming up. I'm sure. And it goes on to say, please be respectful of your neighbors. Thanks in advance to all. And to my understanding and Aaron's understanding, this was passed amongst the baseball community. So I just wanted to.
Yeah, that was written by the president of the league. I texted him and the vice president, told him the situation, and that's the message he passed on to his coaches and his parents for this tournament. So he was right on it. Next day, boom, the text went out, or the email went out to everybody, and they're going to be more diligent about Bott Field in particular. Bott Field's the problem field because there's nowhere to park up there for anybody. So they got rained out, I believe, this past weekend. But on Sundays, they will have either the president or vice president at that area, policing it, making sure everything's good to go. They understand the issues and more than happy to take care of the best they can. So.
When's the season end for that ball field usually?
Fall ends in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was coming to an end.
Yeah, 'cause then they go 470 because of lights.
Yeah.
There's just no
Yeah.
lighting.
Exactly. Gets dark at 7 o'clock.
The last thing I have under new business is to present the Bethlehem Fire Department request for having a contractor install the necessary water and sewer piping into the new building, make the connections pretty much turnkey. And I know there are 3 bids here, and I'll go through and read them. The first bid, which was the lowest, was from HP Excavating. Again, these are, to my knowledge, turnkey proposals for both supply and sewer. The first bid from HP Excavating is $15,000. The second bid received was from MRE Services, who is constructing the building right now, and that is a total price of $21,600. And then the last bid was done by Ohio West Virginia Excavation. I think that gentleman's the
I
name.
think I was in the audience.
And
Okay.
his total was $57,000.
How big's this water line?
Well, yeah, I thought we were
What's
just
the-
going from the
Did we-
street to
I
the
thought it was
building.
like
Did we
8
want
feet.
gold in our?
I thought it was just a water line from the street to the building.
Well, I mean, there was one for 15 grand, so clearly that guy must be. I don't know what his scope of work is. You know what I mean?
Can we
And
see it?
also included
Yeah.
the sewer line in the back as well.
We didn't
Right.
talk about that.
No, we talked about.
We didn't
the
talk about
water
the sewer
line.
I
line.
think we just threw that all together.
Yeah, we never discussed the sewer line,
So this is
because
the
that's gonna be hundreds of feet.
I can't guarantee that's the case, I just thought that that was what it was, so.
I can interject.
I should probably
George.
just-
President of the Fire Department Board called me today, George Sistine, and said that these 3 bids that you just presented, he said, the company that did Sugar Lane,
HP.
is that who, okay.
The lowest
So-
bid.
Lowest bid, 15 grand. He said that will be to dig up the state road, get the water line across the state road to our property, the fire department's property. And then it's about another 100 feet of pipe, 6-inch pipe, to get to the corner of the building. Then this is the, come across the street and then ditch it, and then there's about, I'm gonna guess, about 100 feet of sewer line to connect, or take it to the property line. And then the village would have to be responsible for the manhole to our property line, fire department's property line. So,
No, the builder's responsible from their house, like if I build a
Yeah.
house,
to the property.
I'm responsible from my house to where it ties into the sewer line.
Oh, you are?
Yes,
So we
you are,
could-
the builder is responsible to the tie-in, and then the village inspects the tie-in. You
Uh,
pay a tap fee,
All right.
and you're done.
Alright, so I think George thought it was just to the property line, not to the manhole. You're saying it's to the manhole.
I don't know what I'm saying, because I need to see the specs.
Yeah.
What are they
I think you
proposing?
need to see the specs before you can make any decision.
Right.
Okay, let's pass these around.
I didn't know we discussed this, didn't think we discussed the sewer line.
Again, I could be misspeaking,
No, I
that
think-
should not have come out of my mouth because I don't know that for sure.
This is from Dawn, this isn't from HP.
Now, the sewage, would that go over?
That
the
is the bid from Kenny Workman.
Kenny's the guy, okay.
It's a verbal quote.
It's not
Is there any
real.
materials on there?
It says, will provide labor and material necessary to install the water line and the sanitary sewer line to the new Bethlehem Fire Department building at 27 Chapel Road.
Sewer's going
This
over.
includes necessary testing. There's no measurements, there's no,
Give that to
you know,
Steve.
compare the
You
two.
on there?
Compare the
That-
two. That's just this is what we're gonna charge. There's no, what kind of line are they putting in, what size line, how many feet are they putting in?
So this one says $22,000 for the road bore, so that would be the state, come under the state road. The water line installation is 20,000, sewer is 8,000. and
So all of these include sewer.
That's the $54,000 one, yeah.
We never,
That's out of this world.
Where's that one?
I think what this council needs to do is decide how much money we wanna give to them and
Right.
let them do their thing. And consider it's a big project, it's once in 100 years, and we give them a donation and get out of the weeds on this stuff.
So what do we wanna do?
Okay,
So we got
I
3
got a
bids.
question to ask.
Well,
Where we,
like-
go ahead, Mark. You go
In light
first.
of the fact that we're seeing what they might need, we can make our decision on that.
Alright, so $15,000 according to George will do everything that they want done. But, see, I think George was
You
misinformed.
don't ask them, see
How
where
far
they-
is it from the
Look
property
at the
line
differences
to
in
the
the quotes.
main
That's
line?
just a Dawn typed up.
For the
that's what
storage?
charges. This
Yeah,
is
wait,
a-
okay, who
I
is
don't
it?
know
This is
because
Okay.
George started
They're
just
telling
going
you
to the
exactly
property
what
line.
The sewage comes out the back.
Yes, correct,
And goes down over the hill.
correct. It goes down into that,
They got materials on there with the price.
Right.
Labor.
does HP have a breakdown?
no.
No,
They
it
don't?
was just from what the mayor told me. So the mayor received the bid from HP, and the mayor received the bid from the gentleman that lives over on that owns Ohio Valley
Dale Lewis.
Excavation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dale.
What's his
Oh,
last
okay.
name?
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah.
And then, the department received the bid from MRE since they're building the building.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, that one bid said $20,000 just to come across the state road.
What's
Well, isn't the village gonna have to do that anyhow?
No,
No, they go to
No.
the tap.
the builder is responsible to the line.
I lost you, Tim.
If you're building a house,
Yeah,
we have a main line 30 feet away from your house. You're responsible for bringing it out of your house and tapping into our
oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
switched gears on you, water line.
water line too.
Oh,
The water, that's why you pay a tap fee.
Wherever we determine the best
Ben,
place.
is that the
Yeah.
carry past the curb
see,
stop?
I thought the village
No,
brings water
so
to your
where's the
property
curb
line.
Only at
stop
the end
gonna
of
be
your
set
night.
for that water line on Chapel Road?
Yeah, only
No.
a back,
You mean
back
the
room
shut
deal
off?
with Don Man.
Yeah, like where it stopped at the
When
curb,
I-
That he
curb
didn't tell us
stop.
about.
There'll
When
be
I
a
built my
valve
house,
placed
I'm
on the
pretty
fire
sure the
department
village
side of the street.
brought the water
Their
to
actual
my
meter
property
will be
line, and
inside
I
the
was
building.
responsible
It's a
from the
6-inch
property
line
line
going all
into
the
my
way in.
house.
And the main tap is the
But that's
opposite
not the
side of
case.
Chapel,
Extending a
correct?
line on existing
Yes.
lane is one thing. That could potentially happen.
Right, so if we know there's gonna be further development, we're not taking a service line to your property. Like if we take, give me a piece of paper. If here's your street, okay,
No, we talking fire department or just examples?
it's just a normal street,
Okay.
and the water line runs right here, and it stops, and you wanna build a house out here.
Yes,
The village may extend the line out to here,
okay.
but you're responsible from going out of your house to wherever the line goes.
Oh, okay, well then,
Yeah.
I was misinformed, and I
Yeah.
thought, okay.
No, that's the purpose of the tap fee, that's the purpose of the sewer tap fee. I've got too many papers in front of me, I'm confused now.
All right, so when,
So I'm confused, what designates the village from, you said may, to bring the water, like, in the example you just drew?
Right,
What would designate, is that a judgment call based on the
Again,
water and
so
sewer
when,
committee?
you live on Maple, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
right, so when Maple Lane was just being built, the village thought, oh man, nobody's gonna build a house after here. In 1938, they stopped the line right there. Well, now Randy goes and buys this back section of property and builds a house.
And more.
Right, and more.
Yeah.
So now the village says, well, more people are gonna build over here and over here, we might as well extend the line all the way out to the end of the street. And then
And there
they
may
ended
be
up,
PSC rules on that too.
that I don't know.
Let me see
Yeah.
that too with the.
These two drawings, I think are the same.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the
That's
same.
good ones.
Yeah.
Is
I
this
said-
holding up their project?
yeah, they want to pour, the contractor wants to pour the concrete slab all around the building, but they can't because this has to be done first.
And again, we were gonna make it as a donation rather than just pay for the project. 'cause
That's
it-
how TC said it
So,
should be done.
so I think, again, we need to decide, and in light of looking at some numbers, how much we wanna donate to this project.
Yeah.
And you, use it for that or whatever.
Well, I'm fine, like, just say this is how much we approved, and you guys can do whatever you want with it, and you take it as far as you can get with the money we give you, and you guys pick up the rest of the
Was
bill.
this not in the original drawing for
Yeah.
the fire department? When they built this building, was this not part of the plan?
The bid,
The one point,
So,
the
yeah.
$1.2 million
Yeah.
for the building.
This
Was
wasn't
not
part of that?
originally part of it?
No, that's not included in the cost of the contractor bid for building the building and pouring the concrete, but not servicing utilities like gas, electric. That was not included in the 1.2.
well, otherwise you would've footed the bill somehow.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that the
Knew it
fire
was
department was
coming,
gonna have to pay.
And other things, yeah,
I mean, obviously you have to have utilities. but-
sure.
So, I mean, do you guys feel comfortable, like, well, first of all, if we donate the money, where's it gonna come from?
It's gotta come from the general fund, it can't come from anywhere else.
So
It's
general.
a donation, it has to come from the general fund. It would be illegal to take it from
Is it
anywhere else.
required, say 16,000, is that 2 readings or 1? We can, TC is $16,000, 1 reading or 2? Just,
We could, if we wanted to donate 16 grand, we could just make a motion and do it, right? It doesn't need multiple readings or anything like that.
Really? Alright. And it comes from the general
It
fund,
has,
not,
it's a
Yes.
donation, it has to come from the general fund, it can't come from the water fund.
then you gotta ask Jamie how it's gonna affect us.
if we were,
Right.
yeah, if we were paying the contractor for the project,
Yeah.
we could do it from the water fund,
Okay.
because we're paying for a
Yeah,
water
all right,
service.
Gotcha.
But you can't use water or
For
sewer or
donation.
park or any to make a donation to another entity that then uses the money how they see fit. That would be illegal.
All right. So do we wanna approve the low bid, or we wanna just make a one-time donation of X amount of money and be done with it, or?
I believe we should donate what we want, but also at the same time, how's things looking here,
Financially?
currently to do this? Jamie's not here, and
I think you need consultation with Jamie.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think this should be tabled to the next meeting, you know.
And it's gonna hold them.
I mean, I know it holds you guys up, that sucks,
Yeah.
but
No, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'll take back whatever we decide to George and tell him this is what, you know, and why.
yeah.
This is what we decided.
anybody have
Does it have the lineal feet of the water line? Figure
Yeah,
out how
yeah.
much you're paying for it?
Again, I like to, what this is for, I like to make a blanket donation, let them deal with the weeds of the thing. And
Yeah, I'm just saying.
we've seen the bid.
Yeah, I'm saying, is there a reasonable basis for the cost of the bids?
You go from 16,000 to 58,000.
right. Well, that's the thing. The HP bid really isn't a bid.
Well, I can tell you from putting in water lines, I just put in a 200 PSI water line coming from, tap to the meter in the property, and for it to be dug, landscaped, and there was some concrete work involved, it was right around $10,000. That was, you know, that's a 200 PSI line, PEX line.
Is that just
Granted,
water?
that's not a 6-inch line, that's a 3/4 inch
You
line.
didn't have to go under the state road either.
No.
They got cost in boring that. That was-
$20,000.
Well,
Well-
he was gonna do that also?
Yeah.
They probably have a machine, or they rent it.
No, I think they were gonna dig. So HP was gonna dig the road up. These guys.
No,
were bore, I
HP is going to tunnel under the road. That was the big, they're not going to disturb the road. The big difference between the other two bids is they were going to do a bore method. So, I don't know why that's the bid Dawn received typed. I mean, it'd probably be, you know, I'm
If you got
kind
a
of
bid,
with you
check,
on
make
this.
sure it's
Matthew,
but-
if you got a bid that looked like that, what would you do?
Yeah, we
I
gotta
would
make
ask for
sure.
it to be itemized.
Right.
That
Yeah,
sounds.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
make sure it's
Yeah,
enough,
this guy, I didn't want
and
to
then we'll
use the
figure out what we wanna donate, you know?
$50,000.
If it's not enough, it's hard to come back and ask again.
Right.
I mean, he wants
True.
22,000.
And I don't
just
think we
to
can
bore
donate
the road.
twice, in
No.
my opinion.
And this other guy's gonna do the whole project.
Okay, we'll get the homework for next meeting, huh?
So what do we want to see before next meeting?
The detail of the HP bid.
Yep.
Right? We wanna see the detail.
Breakdown.
HP bid, and then we wanna talk to Jamie.
Includes the sewage, it's just water, right?
Take it on
Yeah,
as
this,
that.
Bobby, is sewage and water. So to trench the line, then continue it to our property line is what George said. Not always a manhole. So he was misinformed.
Yeah, we don't own beyond your property line, someone else does.
Yeah, they're gonna go through private property yards and.
The church, I think,
The
owns
church,
that property.
the line falls down below in that field.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, which church we talking about? The
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian church, yeah.
Comes
They
up
go clear that far?
behind.
Yeah, that's where the manhole was. Because John Hayback found the manhole.
Yeah, there's several down through there in a line.
I'm thinking they're gonna clear down Village Drive.
No.
Donation, yeah.
Do you have to give permission either to dig or bore underneath the state road?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, now, imagine that don't happen overnight.
Quicker than you think because of like the wall, or the, poplar line. We had to bore under the road to get to the poplar line. It's not that difficult to get permission.
That's what he explained to me.
Yeah.
He said they are not going to.
Plus the traffic on that part
Yeah.
of
They
Chapel.
told me they were gonna dig.
Right,
Other
yeah,
than the school, with school.
yeah. But the getting permission actually would be easier than you think.
What if you think, you know, and I hate
I know.
what if you easier just
No, I agree.
We
cut,
shouldn't even be talking about how to do this.
put the road in, you know what I'm saying, that's my way of thinking, cut it, do whatever you
say we
have,
move
put
on.
layers
They
of
have
concrete,
legitimate.
and I'm done, instead of trying
That's
to,
literally,
uh,
if I
20
was
feet.
the knowledge that I know, that water line I was talking about, that was a 90-foot run. The MRE bid, I bet is actually
All the
pretty
dog
close,
fees,
based
$3.
off the knowledge I know of current material pricing.
Yeah, so MRE is the company, part of the subcontractor building the, you know.
All right, so
But
this is on.
I
hold.
like HP just because I get to know those guys
Well,
when they're
they
doing
do
Sugar
good
Lane.
work.
They
Yeah.
do, they really do
They got
good.
equipment,
And they know what they're doing, and they did it well, and did it
and
right.
we know what homework we gotta get done for us.
Okay.
Jeez,
What we're gonna do, talk to Jamie and then,
Yeah, we're gonna get a more detailed,
From HP.
bid from HP, and, we're gonna talk to Jamie about, the feasibility of a.
Can I have those 3 bids, pounds?
Yeah,
See where we're.
I don't need if you guys wanna, just, I'd say pass
like
it
that.
back down. I just need the 3 bids.
there's just a big variance, 58 to 16.
I know, that's like,
But
how could you be
58,000
off
is
that
absurd.
much?
355 is what's coming in the general fund, but you gotta think the paving still has to come out of that. And
That was 160,000.
the other project's still gonna come out of that.
Jamie will know.
That is everything I have under new business. Is there anything else anyone else needs to take up this evening?
I have the fans for the new shelter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve the payment of $3,740 for the installation of 4 Tornado 56-inch fans.
One question on your,
Yes.
is 4 adequate? You
They're
think
I
4 is
believe so. 56 inches over
56
4,
inches.
4,
All right.
4.5.
Yeah, those are the
We're
big,
going to
4
those
foot, 8
measurements.
those are the,
If we needed 6, I mean, I think 8's too many, but is 4 enough?
I think,
They're gonna operate independently also, so
yes.
don't blow your food off the food table with the fan on top of it.
Don't-
I'm assuming it'll be a 3-speed fan.
Yes.
They're industrial.
Aaron, do you know
Yes.
the span of
Yeah.
that shelter? Do you
I don't know the span of it. No, I don't.
Well, I make a motion, we get the fans for the park shelter.
I'll second.
This is out of which fund? Water?
Park fund.
Park
Yeah,
fund,
park fund.
yes.
Yeah. I second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. And if there's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Tom.
I have one more FYI when we can have a little turn.
Fire away.
Just so y'all know, this was the first month for the new billing system. The new bills went out. They are paper bills. You should be getting them in the mail tomorrow. Hopefully they'll be in the mail. They're in an envelope. Let me know what you think. Let me know what the people think.
How did your training go?
Training was all online. We had Zoom meetings. We can Zoom every day if you want to. Fine.
Comfortable
Everything
with
was
it? Feel good about it?
Absolutely. We kept waiting for the other shoe to fall because it's so easy.
Right,
And
right.
it's like, surely it can't be this easy, but it is that easy. Same thing with the transition from the radio reads and the,
Good for you, Ben?
boom.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
it's been smooth sailing. I think communication as far as language, his language and my language are 2 different things. And once we figured out we're talking about the same thing, it all came together.
Were you able to take a generic sampling of the bills, or is it about the same? Are you seeing that we're getting more accurate readings, or is it about the same?
I can't tell that.
Okay.
Really can't tell.
Okay.
We had to eat a little bit because of the changing of the meters.
Right,
It's
right.
a big, it was just major. Had nothing to do with the rebilling system. It was more because the old one was so old.
Mhm.
In order to mesh them together and transfer things over, it's
Maybe
very
some new
complicated.
billing.
Good,
Manual,
not the
but
new
it's all
rate.
worked out. New bill should be here in a day or so,
New
and,
rate and new
let me know what you think.
good, thank you.
any other new business this evening? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second.